Okay, everyone. I'm in Buffalo now. We're at the flea market and stuff, and as you can see by the White Rock Road, kind of lets you know the area. So, what I thought about it was, it's a little bit too out in the wilderness for my taste, but it doesn't mean that it's awful. So, but I am sweating. It's August. It's really a hot August day. It's a little cloudy. I would like to show you guys a picture of the clouds, but I'm not going to do that because I do not really feel like getting out of the car. So, we're going to talk about movie snacks. So, there used to be a time when I would go to the movies and I just never really quite went as much as I could have. And even today, like, it's difficult. The main reason why is just because I see 90s movies as being better than, like, movies of recent times. Like, I've come up with something worth talking about, and I thought, well, what movies from the 2010s are considered cult classics? And there's just not a ton of them that I can think of right now. It usually takes about 8 years for that to happen. But I'd like to think the 40-Year-Old Virgin might be one. I'd like to think Superbad was another. You know, a few of these Judd Apatow movies. Couple other ones, like I feel like Anchorman is one. I feel like Napoleon Dynamite is one. But, you know, the 90s was a trove of these movies. It's because they were unintentionally cheesy. And so, naturally, I went to the movie theater. Now, of course, I was a teenager in the 2000s decade, so I wasn't really able to do it. But when I did go, here's a few of the snacks that I had. So, I had popcorn, which, you know, is a standard snack for, I had popcorn, and I had nachos. Nachos is another thing that sometimes I like to eat. Don't really have a problem with that. Sometimes I will get them with jalapenos as well. And I also like Butterfinger bites. Now, when I get these Butterfinger bites, you know, they used to have Butterfinger BBs. If you remember, the Simpsons used to be affiliated with that, but they really kind of toned it down. I guess, you know, when you look at the Simpsons, I think the main thing is this: the show has been around since 1989. And if you were a preteen, teenager, 1991, and you're still watching that show every new episode, it's kind of like, you know, you're supposed to evolve past it. So, of course, a lot of people like Bart Simpson, but, you know, after like 1995 or so, you just are supposed to not care about the Simpsons anymore, which, you know, I don't really think is that much of an issue. It just kind of reminds me of like Beavis and Butthead or something, you know. Like that style of person, like Beavis and Butthead, is a lot of what I try to incorporate into some of my videos. And I feel like just being, you know, a loser in 1994 or 1996 was pretty hip. It's unfortunate that we're getting improved taste, but, you know, what is going on that we would need to get a bigger sense of style? That's the only thing that I question. You know, people say they want more, but what more would you want? I don't know, but yeah, so the Simpsons apparently is not that hip. But I still go to the movie theater and I get a variety of snacks, but it's just, I see these snacks and they look kind of tacky sometimes, you know. they look like they're just trying to get you to buy them more than they're actually trying to get you to keep buying them. You know, it feels kind of as if, like, they want the individual one-time sales more than, like, a continued buying, because you don't see these snacks very many other places. I mean, you'll see them at, like, Walgreens or something, but I don't know. So I mean, I haven't been that experimental with the snacks that I eat, but I think I'm going to start. The problem with it is there just have not been movies this year that I have wanted to see. There really hasn't. Like Fast 7, I don't know if I want to see that. Ant-Man, not terribly. That movie with Sofia Vergara, I know I'm listing PG-13, but I mean, there just isn't a ton. You know, there was 20, no. I'm trying to think of what else came out. Yeah, there just hasn't been a shit ton of movies. Like, there was Amy Schumer, but I really can't tell you what sort of movies else would be worth the watch.